5th, 45 miles an hour. Swifty lost the wheel of Lars back. Now this is a very strange finish now, because poor old HTC High Road, they've got the firepower, they know what they have to do, but they don't really want to chase down their own man.
Well, there's dangerous moments too for Cadel Evans, because they're bumping and barging the sprinters now, but the good news is we're inside 3 kilometres to go to the finish, and so there's no way now Cadel can lose the Tour de France. The 3-kilometre rule would apply if he were to crash now. He's won whatever happens as he heads out now on his last half lap of honour for Australia. Now all that Mark Cavendish wants to do is win the last stage, and that will also confirm his green jersey.
There's only one man at the front of this race now, and it's Mark Cavendish's own teammate as he sweeps across on the Champs-Élysées. Ben Swift is back in the peloton. Now this is going to be a rather interesting final 2.5 kilometres once they get themselves to the Rue de Rivoli.
Round the back, heading now for our last visit beneath the garden of the Tuileries, as the peloton still tries to wrap this up. Desperate moments. Lars back. The first man to congratulate back if he were to win would be Mark Cavendish. Just reward for all the work he has done for Cavendish throughout 3 weeks of the Tour de France, but it's not going to happen. They're all together, led by the champion of Belgium, Philippe Gilbert.
Also the rider from Garmin in the blue helmet, that was Christian Vandervelde, whipping up the pace. All of a sudden Lars back has been wiped away. Puts off into second position, looking over his shoulder. He's looking to see if he can find the shape of his own team. He's got Tony Martin in the mix somewhere, and the green jersey of Cavendish.
But
Cavendish back now is in the driving seat.
Leading out, Rojas is in a brilliant position now to get the drop on Cavendish. And if Rojas finishes a few places ahead of Cavendish, Cavendish will lose his green jersey. This is the last turn down under the gardens. Then when you come out, you're 1 and a bit kilometres from the line.
Now they go under this tunnel of the Louvre now for the last time. They'll take the left-hand bend, and then all of a sudden across the road there, Phil, they will start to see that red kite, which will indicate the final kilometre of the Tour de France 2011, and still they're waiting to pick up the pace. Team HTC High Road, they've been here before. They've taken Mark Cavendish to the victory on 2 occasions on this very street, on this very avenue, and they will wait until the last possible moment to open up their firepower. Here it comes now. This is Bernie Eisel.
This is not a usual finish for them, but it looks as though Eisel this time has got himself under control. Cavendish is trying to hold position at the back behind Mark Renshaw. 900 metres to go to the end of the Tour de France. Cavendish has won twice here before. Can he get the hat-trick as they change partners at the front?
Tony Martin now, the winner of the time trial yesterday, is right up into first position. Behind him it's Matty Goss. Behind Matty Goss it's Renshaw. They've lined up the first 4 positions here as they come across the Place de la Concorde for the last time.
The world champion peels off. He's done his job for Tyler Farrar. So Hushop drops out of it now. This is one of the missile launches. We entered onto the Champs-Élysées 2 years ago when he won by a mile. It's a deja vu. It's just Cavendish now is in the 3rd wheel. They've left it later because of the headwind that blows down this straight. Now Renshaw will go. Cavendish is going with him. Boysenhagen is trying to get on his wheel. He'll never be as fast as Mark Cavendish. Eyes down, because this one will be Mark Cavendish's 3rd win. As try as they might, Mark Cavendish gets win number 3 of his in history on the Champs-Élysées. He gets his 5th stage win of the Tour de France, and as he just told us, he gets the green jersey as champion.
And congratulated there, Phil, by Andre Greipel. Looking down there, you can just see the yellow jersey. This is the win.
There is the man who's won the Tour de France. The first to congratulate Cadel Evans, the first Australian to win the Tour de France, and he has done it on an American team, and they're all over him. It's going to be a big night in Australia tonight. It's already in the middle of the night in Australia, but they're all up watching the first ever Australian to win the Tour de France.
No, that was a brilliant performance by the team. You know, sorry, that he's been in the right place all the time through this tour, Phil. He's always assumed the responsibility when he had to. Let's not forget.
2 minutes 30 over brother Frank, 3:20 over that great guy Thomas Voeckler, 3:57 over the defending champion for the past 2 years, Alberto Contador. Samuel Santos, 4th last year, has to be content 6th this time around, but is also the king of the mountains. Damiano Cunego gets the best ever finish for him in the Tour in 7th. Basso 8th. Tommy Danielson, the top American rider in his first Tour de France, finishes in 9th place overall, and the mountain biker Perrault is 10th. Well, we'll take another quick break here on what is now a beautiful evening in France, and then we'll come back with all of the podiums. We'll see you back here Mark Cavendish in the shadow of the Arc de Triomphe. He is in the incredible position, Paul, as having won on the Champs-Élysées 3 times now.
That really is quite remarkable. He really did it to perfection this afternoon. Maybe a little moment of a scare when he had that mechanical problem and had to change his bike, but that didn't ruffle his feathers at all. He waited, rallied the troops all around him, and put himself into the ideal position with what is turning out to be one of the most meticulous lead-out trains in the business.
The trophy there was given to him by Bertrand Delanoux, the mayor of Paris, as in his colours of HTC High Road, an American team from San Luis Obispo in California. He's gone into his team colours because very soon he'll be back here to receive the green jersey as winner of this race on points. Bernard Hinault there congratulating Mark Cavendish. As we now see, I think just after the turn of the century, we've waited an awful long time to see the green jersey pulled on the shoulders of a British cyclist who will be the first to remind me he comes from the Isle of Man.
Yeah, Andrew Bishop, the military attaché from the Embassy of Great Britain, and we'll see Mark Cavendish a little bit later on when they bring up all of the jersey presentations. But this is an extremely proud moment, I'd have to say, for him and for the Island of Man.
Yes, tremendous pictures there as Mark Cavendish gets what he's nearly had in the past, been robbed to him, controversially so, with split decisions and referees docking him points, etc. But this one's for real. He has won that now, and he's now his next target next year will be to take the top sprinter's record and get more than 22. Olympic champion Samuel Sanchez, who when he realised he couldn't win the Tour de France, he went for the King of the Mountains and he won it on the climb of Alpe d'Huez. And those are his 2 young children there. Proud moment for them as well, standing on the podium.
Well, I'm not sure which you prefer, Phil, the white jersey or actually being a winner at the top of the Alpe d'Huez, because this is a magical tour, not only for him, but the whole of Team Europcar, with Thomas Voeckler having that yellow jersey. These guys did an awful lot of work. It was on that final day when Voeckler started to crack, he was given his own card to play. And I tell you what, he seriously took it.
Well, good for him. He got his award there from the president of French television too, which they've done an incredibly good job of televising the Tour de France. And are we looking at a man who might be replicating Cadel Evans? Maybe 2 years down the road. He's very young yet, but he's shown us he can climb. He's not a bad time trialist. He may have it.
Well, I think the important thing, Phil, is that there are 4 Frenchmen finishing inside of the top 15 this year, and that will give France something to wish for over the next few years. The man on the right would be very happy, I think, not to be the last.
And so he was awarded cumulatively. He was away so much, nearly 800 kilometres spent in front, so he gets the most aggressive rider.
Yeah, and I think if you had to give an award for the aggressive team, you'd also have to give it to his team, because FDJ were in nearly every breakaway. I think they were in every breakaway on the Tour de France whenever something got clear off the front of the pack.
Well, there's one jersey we haven't shown you yet, and we're keeping the best till the end, so we will give Jeremy Roy his great moment here. Standing in the most coveted street in France as a Frenchman has to be very special. Bernard Hinault, the last winner of the Tour for France in '85, now standing alone on the podium as we wait for the arrival of Cadel Evans.
Well, this will be the final yellow jersey. Cadel has worn the yellow jersey in previous tours, but to wear it on the final day, that's what he's always wanted. That's what he's dreamed.
Cadel Evans salutes the crowd on the Champs-Élysées. There is a huge population of Australians here today. I think they've been catching aeroplanes over in the last week of the tour, knowing that this day was surely going to come one day. In 2007 he was second, in 2008 he was second, but led the race for 5 days. He held the jersey one day last year, fell off and broke his elbow, and he was in terrible trouble. But now he is the champion of the Tour de France, and he's the first man from the Southern Hemisphere ever to win this great event.
He's going to savour this moment for a long, long time. It's interesting that he said, Phil, that the end of the time trial was really quite easy for him yesterday, because he knew at that point he wasn't even thinking about trying to... Well, the next award, the next presentation will be for the best team, and that will be the American team, Garmin-Cervelo. As we look at the strongest 3 riders of the Tour de France this year, Cadel Evans in the middle, surrounded on either side by Andy Schleck on the left and Frank Schleck on the right. And what a great battle it was over the last 3 or 4 days, especially the days in the Alps.
Voilà, les applaudissements de nouveau donc de Sophie Lyon.
Lex anxious, I think.